Hello and welcome, everyone. You're tuning in to another exciting episode of our podcast, where we bring you insightful discussions, practical tips, and relatable stories to help you live your best life. I'm Emma, and today we're diving into a topic that's so important for everyone: time management.
And I'm Liam. Thank you for joining us. Time management, the ultimate life skill. Whether you're a busy professional, a student balancing assignments and exams, or just someone trying to get through the day without feeling overwhelmed, this episode is for you.
Absolutely, Liam. Here's what you'll gain from sticking with us till the very end. We'll cover proven techniques to manage your time, step-by-step plans to get more done, practical suggestions to avoid procrastination, and one secret strategy that can literally change the way you view your day.
Plus, we'll have plenty of relatable stories, examples, and even a few questions for you, our listeners, to think about and answer. Speaking of which, let's get you involved right away.
Yes. Let us know in the comments. What's your biggest challenge with time management? Is it distractions? Overcommitting? Or maybe not knowing where to start? Share your struggles with us, and we'll address some of them in future episodes.
All right, let's jump right into it. Get comfortable, grab your coffee, and let's talk about managing your most precious resource, time.
Time management. Sounds like a simple concept, doesn't it? But when it comes to actually doing it, it's easier said than done. How many times have you ended your day feeling like you didn't accomplish anything meaningful?
Too many times for me to count. And you know what, Emma? Time management isn't just about cramming as much as possible into your day. It's about making deliberate choices about how you spend your time.
Exactly, Liam. It's about working smarter, not harder. Think about it, listeners. If you had better time management skills, what would you do with your day? Would you finally finish that project? Spend more time with loved ones? Or maybe start that hobby you've been putting off?
And remember, time is an equalizer. No matter who you are or where you come from, we all get 24 hours in a day. The key is learning to use them wisely.
That's where today's episode comes in. We're not just going to tell you to plan your day or make a list. We're diving deeper into proven techniques, practical examples, and even mindset shifts to help you become a master of your time. Before we break down the strategies, let's start with an example. Imagine this. Two friends, Alex and Maria, are catching up after work. Maria is overwhelmed with tasks, while Alex seems to have everything under control.
Alex, I don't get it. How do you manage to juggle work, family, and your side projects? I'm drowning just trying to keep up with my job.
It wasn't always like this, Maria. I used to feel just as overwhelmed as you do. Then I realized I needed to change my approach to time management.
What do you mean?
First, I started by understanding where my time was going. I tracked everything I did for a week and found out I was spending hours on things that didn't really matter.
Like what?
Scrolling through social media, answering emails the moment they came in, and constantly switching between tasks.
Okay, that sounds familiar. So, what did you do?
I started using a few techniques. One of my favorites is the Pomodoro technique. I work in focused 25-minute sessions, then take a 5-minute break. It's amazing how much more productive I've become.
I've heard of that, but I've never tried it. Does it really work?
It does if you commit to it. And I also prioritize tasks using the Eisenhower matrix.
What's that?
It's a tool that helps you decide what's urgent and important versus what can wait or be delegated.
That sounds like something I need to try.
Start small, Maria. Time management isn't about being perfect. It's about progress.
Let's break down some of the key terms Alex mentioned. Pomodoro technique, a time management method where you work for 25 minutes, then take a short break. Eisenhower matrix, a system that categorizes tasks into 4 groups: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither.
And another term worth noting is time tracking. It simply means keeping a log of how you spend your time to identify patterns and areas for improvement.
Have you ever tried tracking your time? If not, we challenge you to do it for one day and let us know what you discover. You might be surprised.
Now, let's slow things down. And repeat that conversation between Alex and Maria. This time, listen carefully to the natural expressions they use, like, I'm drowning. Commit to it, and start small.
Alex, I don't get it. How do you manage to juggle work, family, and your side projects? I'm drowning just trying to keep up with my job.
It wasn't always like this, Maria. I used to feel just as overwhelmed as you do. Then I realized I needed to change my approach to time management.
What do you mean?
First, I started by understanding where my time was going. I tracked everything I did for a week and found out I was spending hours on things that didn't really matter.
Like what?
Scrolling through social media, answering emails the moment they came in, and constantly switching between tasks.
Okay, that sounds familiar. So, what did you do?
I started using a few techniques. One of my favorites is the Pomodoro technique. I work in focused 25-minute sessions, then take a 5-minute break. It's amazing how much more productive I've become.
I've heard of that, but I've never tried it. Does it really work?
It does if you commit to it. And I also prioritize tasks using the Eisenhower matrix.
What's that?
It's a tool that helps you decide what's urgent and important versus what can wait or be delegated.
That sounds like something I need to try.
Start small, Maria. Time management isn't about being perfect. It's about progress.
Now that we've set the foundation, let's dive deeper. Liam, what's your top time management strategy?
Did you notice how Alex explained the techniques in simple terms? That's a great way to make new concepts easy to understand. For me, it's all about setting priorities. Every evening, I write down the top 3 tasks I need to accomplish the next day. That way, I start my morning with a clear focus.
I love that. And it's so important to be realistic. Sometimes we overload our to-do lists, which leads to frustration when we can't complete everything.
Exactly. Another tip is to eliminate distractions. For example, I keep my phone in another room when I'm working. Out of sight, out of mind.
That's a good one. I also like batching similar tasks together. Instead of checking emails all day, I set aside 2 specific times to go through them.
That's smart. And for our listeners, here's a question. What's one distraction you could eliminate today to save time? Is it your phone, social media, or maybe multitasking?
And speaking of multitasking, let's talk about focus. Did you know that multitasking can reduce your productivity by up to 40%?
That's a shocking statistic. If you're doing multiple things at once, you're not giving any of them your full attention.
True. So, focus on one task at a time, and you'll actually get more done in less time.
Let me share a personal story. When I first started working from home, I thought I could handle everything at once. Emails, calls, projects, and even cooking lunch. But by the end of the day, I felt exhausted and unproductive.
Oh, I can relate. For me, it was during college. I used to pull all-nighters because I didn't manage my time well. It was a nightmare.
And what changed for you?
I started using a planner and sticking to a schedule. It wasn't easy at first, but it made a huge difference.
Listeners, what's a time management challenge you faced? And how did you overcome it, or how are you trying to? Let us know in the comments.
I really need your help. I feel like I'm drowning in work and never have enough time for everything. How do you manage your time so well?
I get it. Time management can be tricky, but it's all about organizing yourself. First, tell me, how do you usually plan your day?
Plan? I don't really plan. I just try to get everything done, but then I end up missing deadlines or staying up too late.
Ah, that's a common issue. The first thing you need is a schedule. Do you use a planner or maybe a calendar app?
I have a planner, but I never stick to it. I write things down and then I forget to check it.
That's a start. Let's make it work for you. Try this. At the end of each day, write down what you need to do tomorrow. When tomorrow starts, check it first thing in the morning.
That sounds simple enough, but what if I have too much to do? I get overwhelmed and don't know where to start.
That's where prioritizing comes in. List everything, then rank them by importance. What's urgent? What can wait?
Okay. But what if everything feels urgent? Like I have an essay due, homework to finish, and a test to study for.
Good question. If everything feels urgent, ask yourself, what's the consequence if I don't finish it today? Start with the task that has the biggest impact.
So maybe I should work on the essay first since it's due tomorrow and then study for the test?
Exactly. And break each task into smaller steps. Instead of write the essay, think write the introduction, write one paragraph, and so on. It feels less overwhelming that way.
Oh, that's smart. I think I try to do too much all at once.
A lot of people do. Multitasking seems helpful, but it actually slows you down. Focus on one task at a time.
Got it. What about distractions? My phone is always buzzing and I can't focus.
Distractions are tough. You could try the Pomodoro technique. Have you heard of it?
Nope. What's that?
It's simple. You set a timer for 25 minutes and work on one task without interruptions. Then, take a 5-minute break. After 4 sessions, take a longer break.
That sounds doable, but what if I lose track of time?
Use alarms or timers. They're great reminders. And during those 25 minutes, put your phone on silent or leave it in another room.
I guess I could do that. Do you always follow this method?
Not always, but I use it when I need to focus. Another thing I do is batch similar tasks together. For example, I answer all emails in one sitting instead of checking them all day.
Oh, that's smart. So you don't waste time switching between tasks.
Exactly. And don't forget to plan time for breaks and rest. Overworking can make you less productive.
That's true. I've noticed when I'm too tired, even simple tasks feel impossible.
Yep, sleep and exercise are essential. Also, review your day at night. Ask yourself, what worked? What didn't? Adjust for tomorrow.
That makes sense. Do you ever feel like you run out of time, though?
Of course, nobody's perfect. But I remind myself, it's not about doing everything. It's about doing the important things.
That's a good mindset. I think I stress myself out trying to finish everything perfectly.
Perfection isn't the goal, progress is. Done is better than perfect. And remember, time management is a skill. It gets better with practice.
Thanks, Liam. I already feel more confident about managing my time. I really appreciate your advice, Liam. But what if I plan everything and something unexpected comes up? That throws off my whole schedule.
Oh, that happens to everyone. Life is unpredictable. The key is to stay flexible. Build a little extra time into your schedule for unexpected things.
Like a buffer?
Exactly. If you think a task will take an hour, give yourself 15 extra minutes just in case. And if nothing comes up, you'll have extra time to relax or start the next task early.
That's a great idea. I think I try to pack too much into my day without leaving any room for surprises.
Yep, overloading your schedule can lead to stress. It's better to focus on a few important tasks and do them well.
I see. But sometimes I feel guilty when I take breaks or don't finish everything.
I understand that feeling, but guilt doesn't help. Breaks are actually part of being productive. Your brain needs time to recharge.
So, I shouldn't feel bad about relaxing sometimes?
Not at all. Think of it this way. Rest is like sharpening your tools. You can't cut effectively with a dull blade.
That's a good metaphor. I'll try to keep that in mind.
And don't forget to celebrate your progress, even small wins. Finished your essay? Great job. Completed your study session? Awesome. Recognizing your achievements keeps you motivated.
I like that. Maybe I'll make a checklist so I can check things off as I go.
Perfect. A checklist is a great way to see your progress. Plus, it feels satisfying to mark things as done.
Totally. One last thing, Liam. How do you manage time when you feel completely unmotivated?
That's a tough one. When I feel unmotivated, I start with the easiest task. It builds momentum. Sometimes just starting is the hardest part.
That makes sense. So start small to get the ball rolling?
Exactly. And if it's a bigger problem, like feeling burnout, take a step back and figure out why. Maybe you need a break, or maybe you need to change your routine.
And that's really helpful. I think I've been pushing myself too hard lately.
It's okay to slow down. Time management isn't just about being busy. It's about using your time wisely and taking care of yourself.
Thanks, Liam. I feel like I've learned so much from this conversation. I'm going to try everything you said and see how it works.
That's the spirit. Remember, it's a process. Don't be too hard on yourself, and keep adjusting until you find what works best for you.
I will. Thanks again, Liam. You're a lifesaver.
Anytime, Emma. Let me know how it goes. I'm here if you need more tips or encouragement.
How do you manage long-term goals? I always focus on what's urgent, but I forget about things like learning new skills or working on personal projects.
Awesome. You're already taking the first step. That's a great question, Emma. Long-term goals can easily get lost in the daily grind. What I do is break them into smaller milestones and schedule them like I would any other task.
Milestones? Like little steps?
Exactly. Let's say your goal is to learn a new language. You could set milestones like learning 20 new words a week, practicing speaking for 15 minutes a day, or completing one chapter of a textbook in 2 weeks.
That makes it feel more manageable. I think I struggle because my long-term goals seem so big and far away.
That's why breaking them down is so important. Plus, when you achieve a milestone, it motivates you to keep going.
True. But what if I keep putting those goals aside because my daily tasks take up all my time?
That's where scheduling comes in. Dedicate a specific time each week for your long-term goals, even if it's just 30 minutes. Treat it like an appointment you can't miss.
Oh, that's smart. I think I could set aside time on Sundays to work on my goals.
Perfect. Sunday is a great day for reflection and planning. You can review your progress and set new milestones for the week ahead.
I'll try that. By the way, do you use any apps or tools to help with all this?
Definitely. For daily tasks, I use a to-do list app like Todoist or Google Tasks. For long-term goals, I like apps like Trello or Notion. They're great for organizing and tracking progress.
I've heard of Notion, but I've never tried it. Is it easy to use?
It takes a little time to set up, but once you customize it, it's amazing. You can create boards, calendars, and even reminders for your tasks and goals.
I'll look into it. Do you also plan for fun activities, or is it all about work?
Oh, I absolutely plan for fun. Time management isn't just about being productive, it's about having balance. I always schedule time for hobbies, friends, or just relaxing.
That's good to hear. I think I forget to plan for fun, and then I feel burned out.
That's common. Make sure you include activities that recharge you. Whether it's reading, watching a show, or going for a walk, those moments are just as important as work.
You're right. I think I'll start blocking out time for self-care too.
That's a great idea, Emma. Remember, time management isn't about filling every moment with work. It's about making time for what matters to you.
I feel so inspired now. I can't wait to put all these tips into practice.
I'm glad to hear that. It sounds like you're on the right track. Keep me updated on how it goes, okay?
I will, for sure. Thanks again, Liam. You've been such a big help.
Anytime, Emma. Remember, one step at a time. You've got this.
Thanks. I'm going to start organizing my week right now. Wow, we've covered so much today. From techniques like the Pomodoro method and the Eisenhower matrix to personal stories and actionable tips.
Remember, time management isn't about being perfect. It's about finding what works for you and being consistent.
And don't forget to share your thoughts with us. What's one thing you're going to try after listening to this episode?
Also, check out our latest videos and podcast episodes for more tips on productivity and personal growth.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Until next time, take care and manage your time wisely.
See you soon.